Hello everyone. So I keep putting off making videos because I want to wait until I look better, but that just keeps not happening. So, you know, I mean, it doesn't help that the camera adds 20 pounds, like it's at least at least 20, 10 to 20. It's somewhere in there. But yeah, so we're stuck with this. Enjoy.
This is not my actual theme song. I'm just putting it here temporarily. Eventually, the plan is to hire someone who can write a better theme song than me.
Number 15, Season 2, Episode 15, The Trouble with Tribbles. This episode starts with trouble aboard the space station K-7, where a diplomat by the name of Barris has summoned the Enterprise to guard the storage compartments
Storage compartments.
of some space wheat.
You issued a priority 1 distress call for a couple of tons of wheat. Quadro triticale.
This was one of a few times they had a bureaucrat character whose authority superseded Kirk's as an antagonist. Kirk is so incensed by this, he immediately heads to the bar and starts drinking. And from some of the line deliveries in this episode, it's difficult to tell if he ever stopped. Here in the bar, we meet Cyrano Jones, who introduces Uhura to Tribbles. We also see that the Tribbles like to eat their space Wheaties. More on that later. Klingons show up to the station, led by Captain Koloth, whom eagle-eyed Trekkies will recognize as William Campbell, who also played Trelane in Squire of Gothos. The Klingons are going to be hanging around the station, therefore the tensions are high, as our crew discovers that the Tribbles are multiplying at a geometric rate. At this point, McCoy asks Uhura if he can examine one, and she responds,
"Well, all right, Doctor, but if you're going to dissect it,
and if you think you know how this sentence ends, you're wrong, because she finishes it with,
I don't want to know about it."
you know, not, please don't cut up my living pet, just don't tell me about it. Uhura is not to be messed with. Scotty, Chekhov, and the lads head down to the station for some shore leave and commence to getting sauced in the bar. A Klingon, also drunk, starts talking that space trash, literally, calling the Enterprise garbage. The face James Doohan makes here is a work of art. I cannot count the number of times that I have internally made this face at numerous jobs. Scotty sets his fist to punch and sends the Klingon flying over a table at warp speed. A Donnybrook ensues, and Cyrano Jones uses this opportunity to steal drinks. When the fight is over and the barback takes one of Cyrano's pilfered drinks, he pulls one out of his pocket. Seriously, this episode has a severe drinking problem. Kirk confines everyone to quarters and asks Scotty who threw the first punch. There's a great exchange here, and then Shatner's delivery of the line, "No, it's not off the record," which is priceless.
Is this off the record?
No, this is not off the record.
Meanwhile, Spock and McCoy are examining the Tribbles, learning about their reproduction, and Spock, quoting the Bible, weirdly enough, says that they're worthless. McCoy says they're nice, soft, and furry, and they make a pleasant sound, and you guys. Spock responds,
So would an ermine violin, Doctor, but I see no advantage in having one.
I honestly can't decide if this answer is brilliant or insane. McCoy goes to the captain, currently inundated by Tribbles, and expresses concern for their multiplicity. He explains they are born pregnant, which he says is quite a time saver. Kirk responds with the Kirkest response ever.
I know, but really.
Eventually they make it into the replicators, into Kirk's chicken sandwich and coffee.
My chicken sandwich and coffee. This is my chicken sandwich and coffee.
And if I ever fail to quote this episode when eating those two items together, assume I am dead. They figure out that if the Tribbles can get into the food replicators, they can get into the storage compartments of the space wheat. and they head to the station to confirm their fears. And that's when it happens. The moment. That moment. The one even casual fans of classic Trek remember. A grain storage compartment with an inexplicably placed door on the bottom is opened up, and our unflappable captain is buried in a deluge of tribbles. I mean, what was his plan there if the tribbles hadn't eaten the grains? He still would have opened it up and it would have poured all the grain on top of him. Who designed this storage compartment?
Storage compartments, storage compartments.
I'll tell you, it wasn't Jeffries. Jeffries would have put that in a tube. If the sight of James T. Kirk up to his chest in tribbles isn't worth the price of admission for you, then maybe this isn't the show for you. Then McCoy comes in and says a lot of them are dead, and Kirk's ew face is priceless. It is discovered the space wheat is poisoned, and the Klingons were responsible. Kirk interrogates a disguised Klingon agent with tribbles and extracts a confession. The Klingons are ordered to warp out of Dodge, but not before Scotty beams all the tribbles onto their ship because space PETA apparently isn't a thing. Scotty is also not to be messed with. The crew has a hearty laugh at this because they are all quite clearly drunk.
And that was The Trouble with Tribbles. There are other episodes that I feel like probably should have been higher on the list, that should have that I like better than this episode, but this episode is universally well known, so I feel like it has to be on the list. But I like all the other episodes better than this this episode. So it is number 15. So yeah, I guess there's going to be 14 more of these. Of me looking in this camera while it adds 10 pounds. You son of a...